And if you tolerate this, then your children will be next. Hello, thank you so much for joining me, whether you're joining me live or afterwards in the recording. Welcome. If you're new, my name is Morgainne, and this is the Existential Shift. Today is the new moon in Scorpio. So this will be a reading for the new moon in Scorpio for all the signs. I'm going to go through all the zodiac signs and see what's up with you. The theme of the readings will be truth versus lie. And I will speak about that a little bit first, and then we'll move on to the signs. Okay, so what's happening right now, and I've made designated videos for that as 13th element videos. You can watch them on my channel, especially in relation to what is happening right now in the world. But I'm going to kind of shortly, briefly talk about this here so you get an understanding. And then if you want to go deeper, I suggest a few things. A, watch my designated videos when it comes to what's going on right now in the world on my channel. Also, and more importantly even, follow me on Instagram. It's the Existential Shift and She Who Runs with the Wolves. Over there, I make a lot of reels and I share a lot of stories and information that have to do with objective truth. And we will get to talking about that here a little bit as well. Also, here on YouTube, in the shorts, right? It's a different tab than videos. I also make a lot of content regarding that. So the reason I'm telling you guys this is because I know the shorts are mostly broadcast to non-subscribers, to other potential viewers in the world, which is great exposure-wise, but then you're prevented from watching them. So I'm informing you so that you know to look for them. So yeah, She Who Runs with the Wolves in the Existential Shift on Instagram, and here are the shorts and the designated videos. I want to thank all of you for being patient with me in the past few weeks plus. I've been, just like all my people, I've been under immense grief and under a vigilant mode of defense and protection. We don't have the privilege, the Jewish people, the Israeli people, we don't have the privilege to leave it up to our leaders or the governments or the military. We're just so incredibly outnumbered in the world that every single one of us has to show up for the sake of survival, let alone thrival. Okay. So that's about that. So thank you for your patience and understanding. And let's before we go into the different signs, let's talk about the theme of this reading, which is truth. Okay. So we know that there's objective truth and there's subjective truth. Now I'm talking in the 3D realm. Okay, in other realms, molecules are completely dissolved and we're spirit and there's no matter and there's just energy. Okay, great, but you're not in other realms, honey. You're here. And so everything that applies to this realm, to this dimension, applies to you, to your life, to society, to humanity as a whole. Denying that is like denying that there's gravity because you don't like it and then trying to fly off the building. You're not going to do that, obviously. Hopefully, because you're not cray. So take that and apply that to any other Newtonian laws of physics on Earth, okay? And within the boundary of where we exist, there is objective truth and there is subjective truth. What is objective truth? Objective truth, for example, is a plant on the ground, and it's a plant. Whatever type of plant is not very much. Thank you, Martin Vanden Pol, for the 11 euro. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. So the plant is on the ground, and it's a plant. But if you throw it to the sea and a shark passes by it, the shark will see the infrared aspect of the plant. It will only see that the temperature aspect of the plant. which is a portion of the reality of the plant being a plant, right? If you leave it on the ground and then a pilot flies way from above and looks down at the plant, they're going to see a dot. They might not even recognize that it's a plant. Now, is the shark seeing infrared wrong? To his world and his perspective, no. But is it a full objective truth? No. The pilot sees a dot. He actually sees a dot or thinks that he sees a dot. But if he was to bridge the gap between the distance and the plant, he will recognize that it's actually a plant. Right? So everything in our existence has an objective, true reality when it comes to what it is. And simultaneously, depending on the observer and where they're coming from or they stand, there's a subjective truth. Subjective truth affects how you experience life or whatever it is that you perceive, right? Objective truth is not bound or changeable in according to your emotions or your understanding of the world. Those are two aspects of life in relation to truth that can exist simultaneously. The pilot sees a dot, but nonetheless, it's not a dot, it's a plant. The shark sees infrared light, but nonetheless, it's not just the limited aspect of temperature of the plant, it's a plant. So the shark can experience just the heat of it, but what the shark can't do is go around the world writing articles and explaining to everyone how the plant is not a plant and it's actually just infrared. And the pilot can't fly around the world writing articles and telling everybody that this plant is not a plant, it's just a dot. You understand what I mean? If we lose our ability to differentiate between our subjective, perspective based truth versus objective truth, we lose our ability to lead a life, a balanced, healthy life, and we actively partake in crumbling society and the world. We have reached a point, a place in life where many, many people have lost the capacity to differentiate between their own subjective truth that is limited and in whole versus objective truth. Because maybe the pilot can't, with his eyes, recognize that it's a plant, but the pilot can have the broad mindset and understanding of the world that he's not seeing the full picture. And if he wants to understand fully what the dot is, he needs to land on the ground and get closer. So there's no problem innately with the pilot seeing a dot. There is a problem with the pilot claiming that that is the ultimate objective truth. See what I'm getting there? Why have we reached this point where so many people are unable to differentiate between this and that, between subjective truth and objective truth? It's simple. Spiritual vanity and narcissism. I'm a spiritual teacher. I'm the last person to go against spirituality as a concept, right? But the exposure of spirituality, of people to the world of spirituality, on one hand, it's very good because then people get to pursue spirituality and awareness and expansion of consciousness. Great. But on the other hand, if they don't do it properly and if it's coming together with a level of vanity or narcissism within the individual, that is a very dangerous combination. How does it play out? Let's talk, for example, about manifestation. People confuse wanting something to be a certain thing with the ability to possibly create that something with respect to Newtonian laws of physics and with respect to the elements. If I want to drink an orange juice, I can look at this water as much as I want them to be orange juice. They're not going to be orange juice. If I want to drink orange juice, I'm able to get that, but I'm going to have to grab an orange, cut it, squeeze it, or buy that from someone who already made that process for me. So it's not that things are not possible for you to achieve and to attain and to manifest, but they do require an understanding of how within the boundaries of our reality. Until I go and squeeze a freaking orange, I will have water. And looking at it and say, this is not water, this is orange juice, is deranged. It's not manifesting. It's not thoughts create reality. It's stupidity. Now, you all understand it when I give this example. It's a very simple thing and simple concept to understand. You get it. But somehow, when it comes to us wanting to have reality align with our bias and with our prejudice and with our desired, comfortable, fashionable virtue signaling, that's the degenerate and dangerous. How does it play out? Non-Israeli, non-Jewish people, for example, telling Israeli Jewish people what anti-Semitism is. There's a societal understanding that a white person should not preach to a black person of what racism is, or at the very least have the decency and respect to listen to them with acknowledgement that they know more than they do. But the double standard of understanding what you're not supposed to do to anyone, and yet you think you're entitled to do to Jewish people or Israeli people, it's deranged and vain, and is a megalomaniac, tyrannical attempt to mold something into one's biased prejudice. A lot of people right now don't want to recognize that which is unfolding in front of them, the objective truth that is unfolding in front of them, because they care about their ego and not having been wrong more than they care about truth and more than they care about being there for people who are persecuted, whilst claiming that they care about social justice. That is narcissism. That is tyranny, not spirituality, not social justice. And the events of the world right now are shaking the earth from the subjective, vain, narcissistic dust that has been camouflaging as manifester fairy dust. And this is very important for your spiritual awareness and your journey. This applies to you no matter where you're at in the world, no matter what your religion or belief system or ethnicity or race, or whatever the case may be is. It applies to you because people's ability to discern between objective truth and subjective truth is critical for our existence. If we can't take a breath and look at something with an objective eye, without telling ourselves, no, but I can make it to be what I want it to be or what I feel it to be, then we've lost everything, because it will trickle to everything else in reality and in our life and in society. It will. And when you lose sight of objective reality, you lose the capacity to change it and actually manifest and create a new reality. You can't change or transform something you refuse to acknowledge for what it is now. You can't bring peace to the Middle East without understanding the actual source and core of the problem, which is ancient anti-Semitism. Not land, not politics. Those are all just and if you think that anti-Semitism is a conversation that doesn't belong in the spiritual community, you don't know anything about spirituality. Spirituality is truth and empathy. And if we're talking about a disease that has been plaguing humanity for nearly 4,000 years, and you don't comprehend how it's very crucial to the development of human consciousness and to our awareness and to spirituality, you're not in a spiritual journey, you're in a spiritual bypassing. You're in escapism. And if you're escaping your journey in one field, how are you to walk on your journey in all the other fields? See, the ability to understand objective truth is a muscle. It needs to be practiced. If you're unable to do so in something that applies to so many, in something that is so insidious in the world right now, you won't be able to do so in any other, in anything, not in your communities, and not in your that you're being gaslit and lied by subjective truth that is based in hate and bias. How will you recognize a partner gaslighting you? It's one skill. It's one type of skill. So right now, this new moon in Scorpio, Scorpio is a very intense sign of truth versus lie. And it goes deep through the layers. It's not scared to dissect and discern and to peel the onion. So this energy of this new moon in Scorpio really applies here. You're guided to go all the way to it guides the pilot to fly down all the way down to the dot and see that it's a plant. It guides the shark to recognize that its sight is limited and that it can only see an aspect of a way bigger truth from where it stands. It guides everyone to recognize that if an elephant is thrown off a building, that doesn't make it a bird. It's not flying, it's falling. And just because you don't want it to crash and die, and you prefer to think that it's a bird flying, that's not gonna make it so. And all of these subjective truths that have been lying dormant underground are now being, brought up to the surface by incredible amount of light being given to planet Earth by spirit. So there's major conflict and dissonance between the low level of between inability to understand objective truth, right, versus blinding bright objective truth that is just forcing it out into the surface, and now you get to see it. You get to see all the distortion, all the confusion, all the manipulation, propaganda, whatever you want to call it, falsities, fake news, vilification, demonization, gaslighting, an oppressor claiming to be a victim for the past decades. Watch my reels, I urge you, on Instagram and on YouTube, the stories and the reels. And on Instagram, I also share a lot of stories. You need to understand geopolitics right now. For the sake of your spiritual growth and awareness, you can't stay in the dark when it comes to politics, geopolitics, wars, all the jazz. It's just not possible. These two things can't coexist. Spiritual awareness and expansion, alongside not watching the news and not knowing what's going on, doesn't coexist. They don't mix together any more than oil and water. So, as a spiritual teacher that actually lives by what she claims to be, I urge you to not escape reality by telling yourself you're being spiritual. That's an insult to spiritual process. And it's dangerous because if you tolerate this, then your children will be next. It's already in the West. Okay? Now let's see how every single one of you in your personal life is either able to recognize objective truth or is locked in biased truth with inability to make the difference. Okay? Let's ask for every single one of the signs what is the truth that they're missing. And if you're timestamping this, please don't start. Thank you in advance, first and foremost. I really appreciate it and it's very helpful. But please don't start with just the sign reading. Start right in the beginning and zero with important collective messages. Important collective message for the time. Call it new moon and Scorpio collective message. Whatever, I don't know. But include it. Okay. So happy birthday, Scorpios. My intent is to go back and doing general readings by the sign, by the zodiac sign for everyone for December. I know I skipped November. It's just I've been doing more important things. Yeah, yeah, there are more important things in your love life right now. I'm sorry. I can say that and still love you. I can say that and still love you. Don't freak out. Everything in your body is important, but if one organ, God forbid, is torn off and it's imperative to stop the bleeding now, or you'll bleed out. Myself as a proclaimed, let's say, doctor, would you appreciate it if I come to you and start petting your hair and telling you you need to take vitamins for better hair? Or would you it if I stop the bleeding first and foremost? Right. So there's an organ, a very important organ in humanity that is bleeding now. The Jewish people, my people. Listen, the Jewish people, the Israelites, are my 12 tribes of God. You are my 12 tribes of Goddess. If you were bleeding right now, if you were persecuted right now, if you've been used by evil to try to enact its agenda, because where does the darkest forces go first? At first, it will fight light, right? So the Jewish people, as much as it's terrifying to be Jewish right now, we're also taking it as a compliment. If the biggest dictators, the worst human rights violators, countries and leaders in the world are against us, while all indigenous and Western advanced societies are for us, that's a compliment, and that should tell you something, right? If you're aligned with, I don't know, Russia, Iran, China, uh, Pakistan, real human rights violators against Israel, if you're aligned with all the bad guys, then that should tell you something. Hello, you there? Anti-Semitism does make people stupid and unable to realize basic reality. So people can be super intelligent and everything else. When they become stupid when it comes to the Jewish people or Israel, that tells you anti-Semitism is there. Because it makes people sound so dumb when they sound really smart on other topics. Anti-Semitism is a disease that makes people stupid. Things that they will never do to other people, they will do to the Jews. It's So yeah, so right now the Jewish people is the organ of humanity that is bleeding and needs most attention. So as a spiritual teacher that actually is what she claims to be, I focus on what's super urgent and important right now. Right? You can understand that. Cosmos, we love you too. Thank you. Appreciate that. And you noticed I don't speak around and dance around the topic. Love it when YouTubers are like, I'm not going to be escapist. I'm going to talk about the topic. And then they don't say the word Israel. They don't say the word Gaza or Palestinians. They don't say the words anti-Semitism. They don't say the words, like none of it. They don't say the actual thing. They talk in general in a way that whoever listens can understand what they want to understand from it. They don't say anything clear based on their moral clear compass, whilst parading as if they're talking about the topic. It's absurd. I don't know if to laugh or to cry when I see shit like that. It's embarrassing. But it's also very clearing, because it saves you following certain people who are just wasting your fucking time, wasting your brain space. Okay, what's with the focus? All right, cool. Scorpio, what is the truth you refuse to see? Scorpio, happy birthday. What is the truth Scorpio refuses to see? What is the objective truth Scorpio refuses to see? It's one card. What is the objective truth in Scorpio's life that Scorpio refuses to see? Get too many cards. If you tolerate this, then your children will be next. Yeah, if it didn't happen, if it's all AI, you won't mind your children to be next, right? If you just got chills down your spine, then you know it happened. Or at least your heart does, your true heart. Okay. Page of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Temperance, Queen of Swords, Seven of Swords. The truth that Scorpio is not seeing now. Okay, so the Seven of Swords and the Queen of Swords, you've been using logic to excuse doing something that is considered to be wrong. And you've been rationalizing it. But if you go into your core soul and essence and remember what love and empathy is about, and if you're open your mind to learning something new from either a different culture or a different person, especially if you're willing to step outside your ideological box and look outside of you and learn from other people, Page of Wands here, then you'll be able to clearly see what it is that you have been hiding from yourself using your very intelligent, intricate mind. Right? The more intelligent you are, the more intelligent people are in general, the more they are able to rationalize everything and anything. So go to the emotion, go to the heart, go to the spirit, go to empathy, and truth will just kind of flood itself to you. Okay? All right. Thank you, Scorpio. I hope this was helpful. Sagittarius, what is the truth, the objective truth Sagittarius is not seeing right now? What is the objective truth for Sagittarius life that Saggy seekers are not seeing right now? I want one more card because there's two cards. One more card for Saggy. Four cards. Okay. So we have 10 of Pentacles, the Magician, and an 8 of Cups and 4 of Cups. Saggy, you have a very influential, charismatic, impressive either family or community. And because there's something so mesmerizing about them, and cool or interesting, you don't see outside of what it is that they teach you or show you. And you're not bothering to learn outside. Why? Because you're like, why should I go elsewhere if I have everything I need and want? You're right about that. You do have everything you need and want, possibly. But if you were to take a different path and walk it, taking the risk that you don't know where it will lead to, it's the Eight of Cups, you know? If you allow, and it sounds bad, if you allow doubt in your mind, it will open your mind to learning other things. It's not to say that you don't love or appreciate the environment you're in, or family, or relationship, or however the Ten of Pentacles plays out. It's just to say that it's closing you right now, specifically. Now, some of you, it's the other way around. Some of you are a part of a really, really great environment, but you've had some people place doubt in you and it pulls you away. So I understand as I'm saying this to you that I'm giving you two very contradicting messages. And I'm sorry about that, but it's like some of you it's this one and some of you is that one. And I feel like the discovery of which one is which is part of your journey and part of your spiritual process and part of the awareness muscle that you need to practice and strengthen, which is why this answer is not telling you specifically if it's in that direction or the opposite, right? It's yours to discover. That's not a comfortable message. I'm sorry, but good luck. I have to say what I see and not play with it to, Okay. All the glitters ain't gold. Hello, all. Hello to you too. Thank you for joining. Okay. So, Capricorn. What is the objective that Capricorn is currently not seeing? What is the truth? What is the objective truth Capricorn is currently not seeing? Hi, my life channel member. Thank you for joining. Capricorn, what is the objective truth Capricorn is not seeing? So we have Nine of Wands, Seven of Swords, and Five of Swords. Capricorn, you are deflecting and avoiding making a difficult decision. You're sitting on the fence, also rationalizing it to yourself. You're like, I'll just get through this. It will pass by me or it will pass away, and that would be the safest or the smartest or the best. But what will happen is that if you don't make a decision, if you'll sit on the fence, you'll crash. You gotta make a clear decision. You can't sit on the middle on this one. Something in your life right now requires you to choose a specific direction or path or choice. You're trying to like be, avoid being a part of something because you perceive it as either dangerous or possibly hazardous. And I'm not judging that, and maybe it is possibly dangerous or hazardous, but it's just the possibility of sitting the bench on this one is going to be more dangerous and hazardous. So the only way out is in. You got to sit with yourself and with whatever this is and figure out where you stand, Cappy. Okay, I hope this was helpful. Aquarius. What is the objective truth Aquarius needs to see now, or Aquarius is not seeing now? What is the objective truth Aquarius needs to recognize now? Okay, we have Six of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, and Five of Pentacles. This is the Mythic Tarot, by the way, in case I didn't mention and you're wondering. Six of Swords, Eight of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles. What is Aquarius? What is objectively true for Aquarius that they don't see right now? Avoiding a financial difficulty or a level of loss of some sort, if it's not financial, is not gonna suddenly make it okay. It's not gonna make it all just work out on itself. You can't, if Capricorn was sitting on the fence, you're trying to take a vacation and move away from it and focus on the things that you know are okay and are working, while hoping that the things that are not okay and not working will just sort themselves out. They won't. You need to change your focus to that which is not currently working so that you can work on it and change it. It really connects to the escapism that I spoke of in the beginning of this video, of this live. You're currently, there's a bleeding and you're like taking vitamins for better nails. Something wrong with better nails. Nails are pretty and important, and yeah, that's good, but not if you're losing a lot of blood somewhere. That needs to be taken care of. So shift your focus to whatever really needs handling right now, to what is, have priorities of what is most important. Okay, so if you get a sum of money, close out a debt. Don't buy new clothes to feel better about yourself. That's just the best example I can give. Don't, if you have X amount of money and you're debating between taking a vacation or doing something really important with it, don't take the vacation, do the really important thing. Okay. Pisces. What is the objective truth Pisces is not seeing right now? What is the objective truth Pisces is not seeing now? What is the objective truth Pisces is not seeing right now in their life? One more. What is the objective? There we go. Seven of Wands, the Lovers, and Ace of Wands. You're trying to avoid, this is a systematic thing for the past three signs that both Capricorn, Aqua, and Pisces have in common. You're facing a decision, an important, meaningful decision of a new beginning of some sort. But because you know it's a meaningful decision, because you know it's going to determine the next several steps in your life, you're trying to focus on everything else except for figuring out what is the most important, what is the best decision for you to make or path for you to take, right? You have an innate understanding of what the decision, what's the best decision is for you. You feel it in your gut, but you fragment it because you're trying to avoid going with one thing in specific. You're trying to being like, well, maybe it's what I'm sensing is not that, or maybe what I know is the best thing to decide is not. I don't know. It's like choose your battles. Right now, your quote unquote battle is to make a firm, specific, to take a firm, specific path that is based on something that is really in alignment with you and what will most benefit you and will be most in alignment with who you are on the inside. For whatever reason you're scared to do that, don't be scared. Whatever this is, it's going to be exciting. It's going to open a whole new path in a world for you. This could be also to do with love and romance and passion. Maybe there's someone you feel deeply and profoundly for, but there's something about it that scares you or worries you or whatever the case may be. So yeah, look straight into it. Okay. All right. Several signs that have a lot in common. Mm. Pisces, not, I just did Pisces. Aries. What is the objective truth in Aries' life that Aries is not seeing? Okay. One more. What is the objective life for, what is the objective truth for Aries that Aries needs to see or doesn't see now? Okay. Two of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and the Lovers again. Okay, Aries. I feel like I'm giving everyone the same reading. This could, with Pisces, it may have played out romantically. With you, it might be playing out financially. So there's a decision you have to take, but you already know what the best decision is. You already know what will give you most best results. But there are other things that are also positive that are presented in front of you that makes you wonder. So if it's like a good few options, just go with what you know is best and most in alignment with you. I don't see like a bad decision here. I see abundance of possibilities that you're like, oh no, what do I choose? Uh, but something inside of you knows. I feel like it has to do with something that you always wanted to be or always wanted to do when you were growing up, and suddenly you have this really great opportunity. And you're wondering, maybe it's too good to be true. That's like what our subjective um, delusion is. This could be too good to be true, but everything tells you that it's actually just that good. So look at the objective truth of it's actually just that good. Maybe it's just really that good, and don't let your overcritical thinking confuse you into thinking that it's not. And I hope I didn't confuse you more than it was, but it seems like by January, by Capricorn season, you will make the best decision for you. Taurus. Let's shuffle. What is the objective truth in Taurus life that Taurus needs to see? One more. What is the objective truth in Taurus life that Taurus needs to see? Oh, sorry. Oh, come on. That was difficult. Six of Pentacles, Four of Wands, and Nine of Swords. All right. Taurus, the objective truth that you need to recognize is that you're going emotionally something very difficult and challenging, and that you need to capable and skilled with making things work and with keep going no matter what's going on, and doing the right thing and succeeding and gathering people and gaining support or however it plays out. But what is happening simultaneously is that you're going through incredible, immense emotional turmoil. And you need to stop for a second and tend to the psyche or to the heart, um, because you can't keep running on empty fuel. At one point, you need rejuvenate, you need to replenish your, refill your energy. So you need to share what it is that you're going on emotionally with others, whoever you trust and feel comfortable doing so with. Because if you keep it swirling in your head, it will take over you. So the objective truth that you're plowing through is your inner pain. Okay. All right. Sorry. It's been a while since I went live. How are you guys doing? Gemini. What is the objective truth in Gemini's life that Gemini needs to see? All that glitters ain't gold. I'm a Pisces. Thank you. You're one of my favorite readers. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Whew. Oh, what is the objective truth Gemini needs to see that they're not seeing? Gemini. One more card for Gemini. Six of Pentacles, Four of Swords, and Nine of Pentacles. I'm getting a specific message. I don't know how it applies to the question that I asked for you, but let's try to break this down. If you've been asking for money or payment, or waiting on money or payment, wait a little longer. It's on its way. It will get to you. So if there's a delay, if you're required to wait, it doesn't mean that it's canceled or not showing up. It is coming through. Okay, but how does it apply to an objective truth you're not seeing? For those of you that you understand how it applies, great. But let me try to figure this out as well. Oh, okay. Some of you are under the impression that you constantly need to wait for assistance, but you recognize the objective truth, which is you have the ability to create a lot of abundance for yourself, and you don't need assistance, be it financial or whatever the case may be. So if you see yourself as someone who's reliant on someone else or others, and you thought that that's just a reality, that's your subjective reality. It's ironic. The opposite is the truth, the objective truth. You are more than capable and skilled and qualified to take care of yourself or whatever the case may be. All right. That's nice. What is the objective truth Cancer needs to see? The objective truth Cancer. It's not out of the focus. This camera's driving me nuts. What is the objective truth my Cancer seekers need to see in their life? What is the objective truth in Cancer's life they need to see? Okay, one more card. Okay. Okay, the Six of Pentacles keeps coming up, and you see me shuffle. So Five of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. Relying on people who give you fish instead of learning how to fish yourself is constantly keeping you in a state of deprivation. It's time for you to create a reality for yourself that steps away from the needy place. How do you do that? Not by just thinking about it, by actually making a solid plan. What is it that you're great at? Strengthening it, becoming even more skilled and even better at it, and then being proactive and trying to make it into something, be it a business, whatever endeavor or however it applies, if it's not financial, right? So don't stay in the loop of um, receiving, for example. Instead, figure out how you can actively, proactively, and realistically break that cycle. Don't stay there and constantly imagine or be like, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich. Go out there and make it work based on what's the best skills that you actually have and how you can work with them. My life doing pretty good, good. Had vertigo on the 11th and other health issues, but truly not complaining as I'm feeling blessed to be here. Thinking of you though. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Okay. So Cancer, I hope that was helpful. Leo. What is the objective truth Leo need to see now? What is the objective truth my Leo seekers need to see now? Okay. Two more, please. Two. Four. Okay. Oh, interesting. All right. We have Three of Cups, Queen of Wands, and then Seven of Swords, followed by the Four of Swords in the reverse. Just stretch my limbs. The objective power of positivity. Some of you went really far into only focusing on what's wrong, cycling it in your head and having like very extreme gloom and doom. So when I focus on the possible gloom and doom of what's going on Earth, I do it for the sake of trying to resolve and fix it. I'm very adamant on never losing track of how better it can be if we were to work on what is negative, right? So the reason I focus on the negative is from a bigger place of focusing on the positive possibilities that we can reach from healing the negative. Does that make sense? Don't surround myself in it as if it's the only thing that is possible, or else I'd be giving up and not even bothering, right? Because if it can't be better, why even try? The reason I fight is because I know it can be better. So seemingly the negative focus comes from a positive approach. So some of you, my dear Leos, have been caught in just the negative existence, right? And you're cycling this in your mind. It's like it's compulsive. Go have some fun. Fun and joy are also an objective aspect of reality, especially for you as a Leo. Spend time with fun, inspiring, positive people that can inspire you to make whatever the situation is better. In your case, you're not escaping reality, you're overly in the negative reality and forgetting the positive aspect of reality that you're fighting for. Children and animals can really remind you of the simple good things in life. Virgo. So we have Virgo, Libra, and Ophiuchus left because we started with Scorpio. Virgos, what is the objective truth Virgo needs to see? What is the objective truth for Virgo that they don't see that they need to see? I feel like I'm hitting the cards. Like usually I shuffle more gentle. Oh, I need to breathe. That's what I need. Okay, there we go. Virgo, the objective truth that Virgo needs to see now. 1, 2, one more, 3. The Hangman, King of Wands, and 6 of Cups. Hold on. You have been on such an expansive journey of acknowledging the different aspects and layers of reality. You've broadened your mind into an ability to really look at things from every perspective. But your objective truth that you must keep in mind is that you have a subjective existence in the world that requires objective approach to life that gives boundaries and consistent theme to your life. Otherwise, you will lose your grasp on reality. Don't venture into the infinite subjective realities and perspectives and forget the importance of your own specific objective reality that is based on your subjective existence. I know, I hope I'm not making it sound too crazy, but okay. If your subjective existence inspires you to focus on your career right now, because what the most important thing right now is money for you, because of circumstances, you just need to grow your income. You need to treat that subjective existence as completely objective so that you can pursue it fully and not forget about it and run away to other perspectives. Okay, does that make sense now? Okay. Also, Some of you are way too much in the past and in ideas and not enough in right here and now in the reality that is yours. Stay focused on your reality, not on other people's reality, because that's the most important thing for you right now. Present tense. Okay, Virgo, I hope this was helpful and not confusing. Libra. Okay, I'm going to take it. What is the objective truth Libra needs to see now? What is going to happen with this focus? Be a mug. Okay. What is the objective truth Libra needs to see now in their life? Okay, one more. Again with the card. Okay, so we have High Priestess, Knight of Swords, followed by Five of Pentacles and Eight of Wands. There's a duality coming through both in the High Priestess, the Knight of Swords, and the Eight of Wands. There's something of a team or a cooperation. Your collaborations, your cooperations, your relationship need to carry a level of real similarities, because you can't go on a journey or on a mission or achieve something if the team members are pulling in different directions. That not diverse, but more so confused and lacking in direction. You need a very clear direction. So right now, so you need the people around you or the person around you to understand what it is you're doing and being in alignment with that. Otherwise, you're just, it's like a tug of war and you're progressing nowhere. And it will have you lose the goal. And yeah, some of you in the name of some sort of virtue signaling are trying to work with people or with a person or be connected. It could be romantic even, it could be anyway. With someone who really views the world differently than you. And it's just, maybe in certain times that's expanding and possible, but at this time, whatever it is you're dealing with or doing or going through, you really need alignment. You're climbing an Everest, you can't have a rookie with you being your having your back, you need an experienced mountain climber just like you, that understands the terrain just like you. Does that make sense? Otherwise, you're really risking yourself. So whatever journey you're going on or whatever goal you're pursuing, make sure the person or people teaming with you or with you on that, or that you're with, if it's romantic, they get it, they understand. It's like, this brings up the wisdom of tribalism. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Libra, I hope this was helpful. Now, this. Ophiuchus is the 13th sign. It's from around 28th of November to about 18th of December, but it doesn't have to be technically an Ophiuchus for you to connect. It could be like Secret 13, which is an integration of all the signs, or or an integration of the signs from a balanced spiritual energetic place. Okay. So what is the objective truth that Ophiuchus needs to see now? One, two more. Objective truth for Ophiuchus to recognize now. 2, one more, 3. Okay, Ophi, you got 9 of Pentacles, King of Wands, and the Chariot. I need to figure out the lighting here because the focus of the camera is driving me insane. And I should be chill and not worry about it too much because none of you care. but I do. Okay. 9 of Pentacles, King of Wands, the Chariot, the objective truth for a focus. This mission that you're on that is based in idealism and values will actually lead you to objective material success. Don't treat it as an adventure. Understand that it is an actual meaningful direction for your life. So put in both the indignation, but also the practical understanding that you're building something. Red Bike 8, you've just joined. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. If you could... Also, you're a leader of this, King of... You can really take the wheel and the situation in a clear direction and create something of abundance that will reap rewards, but it will require being active and confident and not shy away of leading or teaching or whatever the case may be. Being proactive, not waiting for the winds of change to show you, to tell you where you be the wind of change. Okay, so this was all 13 signs. We're just done. Thank you, everyone, from the bottom of my heart for being here and for being a brave seeker, seer, and existential shift. I love you mucho. Go to my Instagrams, She Who Runs with the Wolves and the Existential Shift, and watch stories on YouTube that it's important to be in the know. It's important to break out of the bubble of deceit. It affects directly to your spirituality. And read all my community posts. In the community tab, all the posts over there as well. I love you. Check out my tarot masterclass if you want to learn tarot. Link is below.